The following announcement's been paid for by the Savvo and Stubby Show.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
What is up, wrestling fans? It's me. It's S-T-U-B-B. Why? Because I'm the man, the myth, the legend, the mighty minion himself, Stubby, and I am joined alongside by my colleague, as usual. He is the enigmatic, charismatic, Greek mystique, the Mediterranean mastermind, the big dog, Big Papa Savvo. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Trying to change a little bit of a format. This way I don't have to travel as much and see if we can do the show from two different locations.
Yeah.
But as usual, we're coming to you from the SNS studios in Livermore, California. How come there's no music playing?
Okay. What do you mean?
I said SNS studios. Shouldn't there be music playing after
Come
I say?
on, dude. We don't do that here.
Oh.
You know better.
Yeah, why would someone play music whenever they announce where they're at? That's just weird. So what do we got on the docket this week for wrestling? Should we start with the demise of TNA wrestling, or should we jump right into Monday Night Raw and SmackDown?
Let's go with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, only because there's so much going on in TNA, and it sounds bad, but we'll see what happens.
It looks bad on the surface.
Yeah, it does, but... Okay, let's talk about TNA then. Yeah, there's been current listing of current free agents, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Mike Bennett.
Just real quick, it's got to suck to be someone like, what's his name? Damn it, I drew a blank. The dude that was Miz's sidekick.
Damian Sandow.
It's got to suck to be Damian Sandow, leave WWE to go to TNA and really get something kind of going. I like his gimmick over there in TNA.
Not anymore.
Oh, well, I was going to say, the guy is a character, and he can pretty much adapt to
He would fit perfectly at the Blue Oyster.
Where?
In the bathroom stall. The Glory Hole.
Oh, yeah. Flush.
Aaron Rex is his name, but he's still employed.
It would suck if TNA falls apart and his only option is to either go overseas or join WWE again.
Right.
Did he leave on bad terms, or was it just like a mutual parting?
I think they just, his contract was up and they didn't renew it. Maybe I'm not 100. Can't remember.
They really know how to let go of good talent, don't they?
But when they did it too, they let go of quite a few people. I think.
Yeah. All right.
More like 4.
So you were talking about Bennett?
Yeah, Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis. Maria Kanellis used to be in WWE some years ago. They're again, on the top of the show. They're one of the main attractions, pretty much. They got Mike Bennett's pretty good. It'd be a pretty major loss, especially with the Hardys going, and then them on top of that. And then there's also the former Knockouts champ, Jade, who I was never really a big fan of or really impressed.
I kind of feel like
with.
the Hardys carried TNA for a while here now.
I wouldn't say they carried them. Yeah, they made more people probably, gain more interest in the overall product, but there's a lot like Mike Bennett, Eli Drake, Eddie Edwards, of course Bobby Lashley. You know, they still have a pretty good roster there. But yeah, that's a major blow there, getting rid of those guys.
I was listening to a podcast, We Watch Wrestling. There are guys that I think one of the guys was a previous creative director or a writer for WWE. Back when when Kane and Daniel Bryan had to go to that therapy, the anger management.
Yeah.
And he said,
I try not to think about that stuff.
Right, but he said that he doesn't believe it's really going to hurt TNA too much because their ratings were really already not the greatest. I mean, they had a 225,000 viewer stat.
They were at 325 1 week, and then I think they went down to 275,000. But there's also talk that I guess because of them making a comeback with the Broken Hardy angle and all that there possibly will be they possibly will make it back to Spike TV, which would be great. But now with them gone, I don't know what that means.
But honestly, I don't. I mean, I initially thought that it was the Hardys that were going to be the downfall. But honestly, I think people that watch TNA, like yourself, are those that are looking for an escape from anything but WWE. Just something to watch that's, not over dramatized or not over commercialized.
Right.
I've
always preferred WCW over WWE at pretty much any point in time. To me, the New Day, just their stupid booty juice ice cream bullshit. When John Cena comes out with ice cream, everybody talks shit. But now they're talking about making ice cream, and everybody's, it's like, I don't understand that shit.
We'll get to New Day at a later point, but I did want to touch base because a good friend of mine, Jeff Rich, posted, he tagged me in a post for the Hardys going to WWE, and he asked what I thought would happen if they came over to WWE. Would they continue the gimmick and whatnot? And I told him that I believe that Vince will allow it to play out. But just like what Vince did with the New World Order, he put his spin on it, which kind of watered down the product.
The product was already watered down by that point. But
True. But that's also assuming that the Hardys are actually coming back to wrestle, not to retire.
I don't have a problem with them going to WWE if they were going to retire soon. Just like Sting or Angle or whoever. That I don't have a problem with. But if they're still on a wrestle a regular schedule, then I would have hoped they would have stayed in TNA, which is what they wanted because TNA is less demanding as far as on the road.
But we've seen what Vince and Triple H do to old employees that come back or employees that go from outside the company, get their water or their feet wet, and then come back in. They usually bury them.
Right.
Do you think
one of the most recent would be like the Dudley Boys?
Or no, I would say
they're not even.
I would even say.
They're not even. They're not even putting them in the Hall of Fame yet.
I hate when we do that.
Yeah.
No, I would say that the latest would be Gallows and Anderson. I mean, you got these guys jobbing out to Roman Reigns, and they're the title holders of all things.
Right. That's like Ellsworth beating AJ Styles. It's making your champ look bad. It's making your product look bad. These guys beat Sheamus and Cesaro, which at the time, I could have gone either way, really, because I like both teams. But what have they done since they beat them? Since they became the champs? Not a thing.
The same could be said about New Day after they hit the Road Warriors. Was it Road Warriors or Demolition? Sorry, Demolition's.
Demolition.
After they beat their record, they fell off, and they've been nothing since. I mean, hell, they don't even have a match at Mania.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of them. I'm done with them. I think they need to break them up. Honestly, I know they're probably one of their money makers, but it's just getting so stupid.
No, the end is near.
Like I said.
The end is near with them, and the end is near with Enzo and Cass. But
I hope so.
Problem is when you break up New Day, they're nothing independently. Not to say they were anything as a group other than entertaining at times.
Well, they're all talented. They're all good wrestlers.
Right, but they're not going to know what to do with them. That's like when it's like Steve Urkel, or even the guy who played Balky from Perfect Strangers. Once you're known for a character, even Screech, there's a good example from Saved by the Bell. Once you're known as a character, you can't step outside that, and I think that's what's going to happen with New Day.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, to each one of them, I don't know. I mean, Kofi's pretty badass. Xavier Woods, I think he still has a lot to prove. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think he hasn't even really started to show his potential. Really.
I think he's more polished than Kofi.
Yeah, but Kofi just does all the crazy shit, which is pretty cool. And then Big E, I mean, he's a beast. Come on, look at him.
He scares me every time he does that spear outside the ring.
Oh, when he flies through the ropes like that? Yeah, and he goes so freaking fast. He goes like, being as big as he is, as heavy as he is, he freaking moves way faster than freaking Ambrose.
Yeah.
Ambrose does that shit. He looks like he's going in slow motion.
And
you know what I'm really tired of?
Sound effects.
Your stupid face.
Oh yeah, classic.
What is that?
Let's put it on.
What are we? 12 years old?
Let's put it on a T-shirt. That is.
But hey, she's a hard worker. I don't know. I mean, she's a hard worker.
In all fairness, though, that's Monday Night Raw's wrestling or writing crew's laziness.
Yeah, I just don't understand how people get behind that.
Did you notice?
I watched that match again just before this, like an hour or two ago, and both Sasha and Bayley looked so weak. I understand they're going up against Nia Jackson and Charlotte, but jeez, they look weak. They need to go back to NXT.
You know how you highlight WWE's laziness with writing now? We had Kevin Owens throw Chris Jericho into a TV that shattered, and Jericho had to be taken off on a stretcher, correct?
Correct.
Then you had Natty versus Nikki Bella, and Nikki Bella threw Natty. Was it Nikki threw Natty into the mirror, or the other way around?
Other way around. I think Nikki threw Natty.
Right. No blood, no hospital. Match continued.
Right.
So is that saying Jericho's weak? I mean, it's the exact same setup.
Yeah. A couple of weeks back, who was it? Baron Corbin, I guess, when he attacked Ambrose and threw him into the little,
that electrical fire that went off before he got there.
Yeah, didn't one of the announcers go, he almost singed his hair? If you look, the sparks went off by his feet.
Yeah.
I was just like, these guys are idiots. It's probably Ronaldo that said it, I don't know.
But
speaking of the SmackDown commentators, did you hear about that Tom Phillips guy, whatever his name is? He was like sexting some chick, and he's like engaged to be married or something, and like he's like in some heat now because of it.
I don't get that. I really don't. Why do you got to ruin a good thing? I mean, you don't have to talk much.
I know.
And I bet you his wife or his fiance's hot. And just to throw it all away? Seriously?
Yeah.
But what I want...
The humiliation of it, just like, being like a...
Oh, you mean...
Not a celebrity, but just being on the spotlight at times, It's just like,
oh, yeah. So he pulled a JBL.
exactly. Or even a Jerry Lawler, but hey.
Yeah.
So it looks like, there's one thing, a conclusion we can come to is most WWE commentators are perverts.
Yeah. Very true. I mean, they stare at guys all day. Half-naked guys touching each other and laying on top of each other. So, I mean, I get it. But what I was talking about was how lazy the writing is for Raw. Did you remember that we had Bayley being asked to relinquish her title, and then the following day on SmackDown, Naomi was asked to relinquish her title?
Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 shattered objects and 2 title relinquishings back to back.
Yeah, but at least Naomi's, made sense. It was because of an injury.
I'm confused, though, because they're saying... they initially said it was a minor injury, and then they're saying it's as serious as Rollins. But Rollins is obviously a work, because that was the worst acting I've seen by him.
Maybe it was worth it. Yeah, see, because Rollins, I think he's going to be at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, he was overselling the sadness way too much.
Yeah.
Being choked up, I wasn't convinced.
Well, you did see the documentary on him when last WrestleMania where he went there and he couldn't even stay there because he was so sad.
Oh yeah, that one was legit. It's nothing on that level.
Right.
If it was me and the same injury or something similar happened a second time, I'd be fuming off the first time, and that alone would be enough to break me down.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere on that level to where he was the first time.
Right.
But
that's probably just the work.
Triple H, that guy's still a damn good spokesman on that mic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how he can stare someone down like that without laughing.
He looks like he's aged a bit.
Oh, yeah.
In the face.
Oh, yeah. His forehead droops over his eyes a little bit, almost like a pug.
He looks... Yeah, I was just going to say, he looks like one of those dogs. Let's see, Raw. Let's see,
I'm trying to remember what Raw was about.
Yeah, it wasn't very memorable. Like I said, I just rewatched it, or fast-forwarded through,
Was
what I thought might be a good part. And, this whole Enzo and Cass thing is just, Enzo's a fucking idiot.
Wait, well, let's start from the beginning.
I hope Cass turns on him, like, real soon.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Didn't Kevin Owens come out and cut a promo with Goldberg?
Yes. Yeah, that was okay. The one thing I'm either I don't like or I'm not used to. I'm cool with Goldberg. I don't have a problem with Goldberg, but in WCW he didn't really talk.
Well, it's obvious.
At least not that I can remember. And now he's talking almost too much. It seems like it's just like, go on,
That's not the hang-up that I have with him. The hang-up that I have with him is, one, he's having an intro for every single time he comes out, even when he's in street clothes. And 2, it seems to be the furthest point of the stadium when he does it. Like, he's walking past catering crew, he's walking past parking attendants. And I mean, could they not put him closer to the gorilla position just so he could at least stand there for a minute?
Right. Just for the intro, yeah.
That's why I joke.
You don't have to come out of the room since you're not hitting your head on the door anymore.
Yeah, I think they should make a spoof like that with Gilbert, kind of like what they did with Jericho. When Jericho made the list of 1,001 holds.
Yeah.
And he was naming them off, and he went to commercial break, and when he came back, he was still naming it off.
Right.
I think they should have Gilbert, like the music hit, and you see Gilbert coming out, smacking his face, and doing the whole stretching and yada, yada, yada. And it's taking a good amount of time, and they cut to a commercial break, and they come back, and it looks like he's in the same spot, kind of like was it the Holy Grail when they did that?
Yeah.
And just have him, like, still walking. Or even have him, like, start the walking from one arena, and then when they start the next...
No, if Gilbert one, they should have him like stop and be like winded, you know, like, "Ooh, this is a long walk."
Yeah, he stops one of those
That
attendants.
would be funny.
He stops one of those attendants and grabs a lemonade off their tray and takes a sip. Or he even walks in the.
That would be funny.
Or he even walks in the bathroom and uses the bathroom real quick, and then comes back out.
See, that would be funny. That would be good.
Writing. We should be writers, I'm telling you.
Something.
But the other idea was have him start, like, they cut a promo like Goldberg's coming out on Raw at the very end of the show. Never have him actually come out. Have it start to show Gilbert come out, and then end the show, and then when they start Raw the next week, have it take off where he left off, like he walked from one arena to the other, still doing the intro.
Yeah, I don't think people would understand that.
No, now that I said it.
What happened to Gilbert? You know, the show's over, and then it's like, oh, I don't know. They probably just flipped over to a camera that wasn't supposed to be on air at the time. I don't know.
You had to be very happy.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it would come off that well.
You should have been. You probably were very happy on Monday there in Green Bay.
Why?
The sheep were not in effect. That was the weakest audience I've heard in a long time.
I'm trying to think.
When they did the Academy Awards thing, when they tried to announce that Rusev and Jinder Mahal were...
Oh, yeah, that was lame.
Right, but no one got it. No one was cheering, no one was laughing. It was dead silent.
Well, again, it was the New Day, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, New Day normally gets a reaction.
Yeah, no reaction from me for New Day.
But other than that, you're going to have to get me caught up on Raw, because I listen to a podcast because it's to the point now where Raw is kind of blah. Oh, no, I do have something to touch on. With Mick Foley. I asked you about this last night. I know he's not in the shape to wrestle at all. And I know he's going to be leaving soon for surgery, with the hints that it might be a new GM that comes in his place, possibly Angle. But there were many times on Raw, it seemed like Mick Foley was considering a comeback. I mean, there was a point there when Stephanie was like saying that he's a shadow of who he was before, and he looked real down and depressed. And then when he got into the ring with Strowman and that interview, when he went off saying that, you know, he's a hardcore legend, yada yada this, yada yada that, I got this vibe that he's considering a comeback, even for just one match.
He might do one more match before he has surgery to, like, hey, if I'm already fucked up, I might as well just have one more match and then get fixed up. You know what I mean?
I know you wouldn't want to see it, but how badass would it be to see Braun Strowman versus Mick Foley in a hellacious, like, brute power versus I don't give a shit?
Well, it's always somewhat cool to see the I don't give a shit type of stuff going on, you know, whether he's jumping off the 20-foot cage or whatever, but I don't know. I don't see him winning that one. That might be too brutal for him.
But the only way that would work is if WWE stepped past that PG rating just for a moment to allow the match to happen, because I don't want to see I don't want to see a watered down hardcore match. I don't want to see. I don't want to see artificial sparks and just getting hit with chairs, because that's pretty lame.
We get the artificial part every Monday night anyway. So.
Yeah, true. That was.
But, yeah, that would. I mean, it would be interesting, sure.
And then I had another take with the Kevin Owens coming out and talking to Goldberg. What would you think about Chris Jericho interfering and costing Goldberg the actual title, whether it be a DQ or somehow assisting Kevin Owens in winning the match? And then when they face each other again, Jericho announces that I don't want someone else to be able to take that title off you. I want you to know that it's me that helped you win it again or keep it again. And I want a shot at it, and I want to be the one to take it away from you. and that be the going away match at WrestleMania that takes Jericho away from wrestling, since Fozzy is in the near future.
I mean, yeah, at this point, anything can happen. I mean, it's all rumors at this point. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know where that's going to go. I think, I don't know. I think maybe it might, I don't know, it just seems like they're pushing Goldberg a lot lately, so I'm thinking he might, I don't know if I'm thinking it or hoping it, but maybe he'll get his, a title run for not a long one or anything, but like a month or whatever.
You know what's nice? You know what's nice about this writing now?
What?
Is that we can kind of predict where they're going with Mania, but it's still not quite clear, and things have changed. Like, we knew the Nikki Bella Cena match was building up. But that
and when we first heard about it, I didn't care for it, but I like what they did with it. I really did.
Oh, that promo, John Cena
Yeah.
ripped him a new asshole, man.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Even Nikki was I think they're fucking. I mean, I know Nikki's not the best wrestler or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I know that, but I think she's proven herself. And again, she's not the greatest. I understand that, but they just made her look bad like every match that she's had lately against Natty, against Carmella. It's just like, okay, she's on her way out. Give her a fucking win, Jesus,
But really, how good does she have to be against Maurice?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, did you watch the one match with her and Natty?
No, I couldn't get. I couldn't get through it.
That freaking kick she does off the.
Off the
rail thingy?
Yeah, I saw that.
Was it the commentator destiny? I can't remember.
It looked like it was going to be a moonsault at first.
Yeah, I think people sell her pretty short. They don't give her credit. But I know why. But I'm just saying, I think she deserves a little bit more than what she's credit wise.
Well, she's the female version of Cena. She doesn't really have to wrestle because she sells product. And she does just enough.
See, to me, again, that's like a big double standard. Everybody loves Hogan. He's the same category. Everybody loves The Rock. He's the same category. Cena's no different than them. If anything, Cena's probably better, more athletic than those guys. Maybe not The Rock, but from what The Rock has shown. He hasn't done anything to impress anybody. I mean, Cena throws in a few surprises here and there. Cena freaking picks up the fucking Big Show, when he was 500 pounds. I just don't. I understand people don't like John Cena, but you still got to give him credit for the shit he's done.
That's just it. I don't like Hogan and I don't like The Rock because I believe that they were over glamorized and they were a face for the company. The only thing I can say about Cena is he never fails to deliver on his dedication or his mic skills. When Miz tore into him, I was like, holy shit, Miz is going to get the best of this guy. Everything that he was saying was fire. I mean, he was on point.
Yeah.
And then when Cena got on the mic, I'm like, holy shit, he just discredited everything that the Miz just said. Now I don't even know who I am anymore.
You're the Mighty Minion. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's I liked it. I enjoyed the segment of it. That was a good one. I mean, of course, Cena's and Nikki are going to win it, but it was enjoyable. It was entertaining.
All right, I'm going to jump over to Braun Strowman versus Big Show.
I wish I didn't delete that. I'd like to watch that again, but
it's on Hulu.
Is it on? It's on the network too, right?
Yeah, no, it'll be on Hulu though.
Oh.
It might be. I mean, I don't know how quickly they archive that stuff.
Right. I'd like to watch it again. I've heard a lot of people say it was like really, really good.
Oh, it was amazing for considering that these guys combined are what, a ton? They're close to.
They're like $385 a piece.
Okay, well, I mean, even 1,000 pounds, that's pretty damn close.
Right. But I would think Strowman would be able to lift him up. I mean, you know, he is a
former strongman.
He is pretty fucking big.
Well, he's also a former strongman too.
Right, that's what I mean. Right. I mean, I would probably think the Big Show could pick him up too. You know.
Well,
I mean, yeah, I understand he picked him up more than once. I understand that. When it seems like a couple of times Strowman has a little difficulty in doing so.
Oh yeah,
I mean, understandable.
Yeah, say after a couple of times I lifted 400 pounds or close to 400 pounds.
Right.
Deadlift.
Right.
Because you know, Show's not selling it too much.
Right.
But
yeah, Strowman did that kick up. That was pretty cool.
When I saw when I heard the match was coming, I thought it was going to be one of those lame, like Mark Henry versus someone big. And it just
like a Mark Henry versus Strowman, yeah.
Right, and it was going to be like a, you know, at best maybe a 4-minute match just to like slam finisher. But they put a pretty good sequence together.
Yeah.
And I was telling Katie, I was like, holy shit, this guy is agile. I mean, with the way that Big Show looks like now after his...
You mean you were telling quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh my God. Really? We resorted to that now? Next, you're going to want to add sound bites to every 10 seconds. We don't do that here.
What?
I was telling Katie that, you know...
Damn. Go ahead.
Woo! You just made the list.
Oh, shit.
You're fired.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm tired of your stupid face.
I was telling her that, you know, if this is where big guys are turning into now, I mean, Big Show is ripped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Braun Strowman was moving like a cruiserweight. I mean, even Luke Harper hit a drop kick that, I mean, someone that big.
Yeah, Harper in that AJ match on SmackDown, that was pretty badass. Even last week.
But on the topic of Strowman, did you see when the threw Roman Reigns into the turnbuckle and the rope snapped?
Yeah.
That's some scary shit. Even if it was fixed for it to happen, I don't know how much tension's on those things, but he could have lost an eye easily.
Something, at least got open or something.
But I mean, it legitimately knocked him on his ass, so it had to be a pretty good impact. But WWE finally figured out how to put over a big guy and not make them like Ryback or Goldberg and actually be able to sell it. I am convinced that Braun Strowman is a beast.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how he would do against, like, Brock Lesnar, though. That would be something to see, but I don't know. I think Brock would kill him, destroy him.
I think he's like Baby Huey with a beard.
That was funny, that one picture you posted with the roses, or what's his name? Adam Rose or whatever?
Oh, yeah, he's a rosebud.
Yeah, Rosebud. There you go.
I only lost respect for him for about a second because I saw Becky Lynch was one. Simon Gotch is one. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, yeah?
I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else during that time that was in hot water was a rosebud too. So I hear rumor talks about Carlito potentially coming back. Have you heard anything about that?
Not really. I think I heard something like maybe a month ago, but honestly, I can't even remember what I heard. But since you brought it up, it was probably that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're having they can't figure out what to do with
Epico and Primo?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, they're supposed to be really good, talent wrestlers,
Well, like they did on the Wetback and Crack a Power Hour, they were talking about the tag teams, both in Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And there really isn't anyone that stands out, except for one on each brand. I really like, and I think I commented this about 2 shows back, and I think you gave me shit for it when I said the American Alphas are looking a lot like the Steiners, and then they end up pulling off one of the Steiners' moves there recently.
Weren't they doing that move before though?
Possibly.
I saw it before. I could be wrong, but
even if
no,
they,
I like that. I like the American Alphas, and I guess from the SmackDown brand,
Cesaro
the
and
next team, SmackDown.
right,
the
no,
next team I'd have to go with the Usos.
right. I'll say from,
And that's the thing. I like the Usos now that they're bad guys. I didn't like them as good guys.
see, I like the Sheamus and Cesaro angle better.
Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Please tell me that you checked out that match on NXT like I asked you to.
I haven't had a chance.
Dude, you were watching watching SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
Don't you have a better use of time? I'd rather watch paint dry at times.
Well, it's a thing called hope.
After this podcast, you got to check it out because it was a badass match, and it's gonna make
Who
you.
was it again?
Honestly, I can't. It's Dunn versus somebody else. I can't remember the second guy's name.
And it's from last week's episode.
Right, they're both European wrestlers. It's the second match on the card. The first match was Ember Moon versus Liv Morgan and Peyton Royce. And I know you don't know the roster at NXT, but I guarantee you, if you gave last week's episode and this week's episode a shot, once TNA falls off the earth, you'll be watching NXT as your filler.
We shall see. I don't know what happened there.
I was telling Katie on multiple occasions when I was watching the moves they were doing, I was like, oh shit. Oh damn. Because a lot of it, I mean, I know a lot of it's, they sell it pretty damn good. But a lot of it's like they forget that it's supposed to be scripted. Pretty rough. And there's a couple good women over at NXT that are starting to make headway. Liv Morgan, I've been talking about this girl for a little while now. I think I've talked about it on a couple podcasts back. She was in a triple threat match against Peyton Royce and Ember Moon for the number 1 contender. And I really think she's starting to get her feet underneath her. And she might be able to step up the women's division if they can get her over here on Raw.
Yeah. Oh, they need something over there.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
But yeah, as far as Raw, there was nothing spectacular. Enzo being an idiot.
It's a work.
Yeah, the Nia Jackson Charlotte against Bayley and Sasha.
That was a weak match.
I watched it again, and Nia and Charlotte just look so
polished.
They look strong, you know. They look so experienced, so good. And you got Bayley and Sasha. What is that fucking thing she does where Bayley throws the opponent in the corner and does that little woo? What the fuck is that?
Entertainment, apparently.
No, it's fucking. I don't even know what it is.
Hey,
stupid. That's what it is.
We can't talk about Bayley. We'll hurt someone's feelings.
I'm just saying. Hey, I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm just entitled to my opinion. I can feel any way I want to feel.
We don't want to make their list, though.
We don't want what?
We don't want to be the writing on their bathroom stall wall. I don't want to be on the list.
Oh, there was some question. The Cracker said something about referring to what I had said about David Arquette's.
Yeah.
In response to that, no, I'm not a tranny. But anyway.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure, yeah. Positive, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Hey, use whatever bathroom you want.
Right?
I use mine. Anyway, moving on. Gallows against Cass. Again, it's just a waste. I don't know what they're doing there. It doesn't make any sense.
It must have been a shit match because Hulu didn't pick it up.
Now they're gonna put the titles on Enzo and Cass, and it's just gonna be like the fucking New Day.
No, they're going to...
5 minutes of bullshit.
If they put the titles on them, it's going to be short-lived. It's just... I don't know what...
There's rumor that they're supposed to turn on each other or something.
Right.
Or they might, whatever.
My problem is...
because I can't stand it.
My problem is they've devalued every single title ever since the draft.
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't work a title long enough for it to actually hold any kind of significance. The Intercontinental title's shit now because Dean Ambrose has it. It's been shit for a while.
He didn't even have a match this week, yeah?
Yeah, he was supposed to. Didn't he come? Oh, he came out and he fought...
He came out.
He fought Kurt Hawkins for a second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, remember? He walked in the ring, gave him the dirty deeds, and then called out...
Who?
Huh?
To who?
To Kurt Hawkins.
I must have missed that part. All I remember was he was out in the ring talking crap to Baron Corbin on the monitor.
Yeah, that's how quick it happened. He walked in the ring. I thought it was a jobber at first, and then they said Kurt Hawkins. Which, again, why would you spend all that money doing vignettes for Kurt Hawkins? The fact?
But they were the fucking stupidest vignettes. What the fuck is that? Oh, God. I'm disgusted. You know, with all this shit that fucking is on Raw, people need to fucking watch TNA. Jesus Christ.
If it's on much longer, I guess.
What?
If it's on much longer, I guess.
Listen to this guy.
Who are you talking to?
Myself.
Oh. Ha.
Who should I be talking to?
I don't know. Just don't start making up voices, because that's stupid.
Senor.
Are you jalapeno on a stick?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Get out of here, jalapeno.
Si, senor. Oh, man. You know what?
What do you call it? SmackDown had some good spots on it. We had, Alexa Bliss is on fire, dude.
Yeah, she is.
She goes backstage and the one interviewer lady's going to interview her. She's like, that didn't work out well for you as planned or whatever. She just, shut her up pretty fast. It was so fucking funny.
Oh, yeah. She said something about Becky Lynch. She goes, yeah, when Emma Watson took the stage for Best Supporting Actress, was the first question they asked was, what do you think of Meryl Streep?
Right.
She's like...
That was fucking funny, man.
She's like, ask me how I feel about retaining the women's championship. She's like, seriously? She's like, yes.
Right.
She gets all choked up.
Then she asks her, then she gets all dramatic and shit. It's pretty funny.
That's when it's okay to be over dramatic and funny. It's when it's subtle enough but obvious.
Yeah, that was just sarcasm. It wasn't trying to oh, believe me, I'm about to cry. It's just not Rollins.
So we've knocked out at least 35 minutes of the show so far, and I'd say at least 30 minutes of it's been talking about wrestling. Because that's what we are, a wrestling podcast. Just saying.
Yes, sir.
Just saying.
100%. Because if it wasn't, you know what would happen, right?
Don't go there.
We'd have to fix it. We'll just leave it at that. of SmackDown?
This week or last week?
This week, the Orton thing.
No, I haven't got there. I turned it off to record the show right now. At the point that Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin had their exchange, I think Dolph Ziggler versus whatever his name is next. And it's like, I think if there's ever a better time to turn it off, it's that match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had a Ziggler versus Cruz, which was, the match itself, it has no life to it, It's just going through the motions, it seems like that. Seemed like he kind of fucked up Cruz at the end there, which he's been doing lately or whatever, back and forth. But, yeah, it was no big deal. But the whole Orton thing, it just kind of got drawn out. It was like, just like, I don't know, probably like 10 minutes, and it was just drawn out. Do you want me to ruin the surprise for you?
No, because I'll watch it after I get done with the podcast.
Okay. Well, that's it for those two, for Raw and SmackDown. We got Fastlane coming up this weekend.
Yeah, and I can honestly say I'm not super excited about this pay-per-view. Like I'm content on catching it on repeat.
Yeah. So far, the matches that I've seen for it are like Gallows and Anderson against Enzo and Cass.
Well, let's run down match by match and grade it. What we think?
Grade it?
Yeah. Like how we think how it's going to play out, and what we think of the caliber of the match would be.
Sure, you want to grade them?
Yeah, what's wrong with grading? Grading is a good way to indicate how good a match actually is, based on opinions of those.
No, I understand that. Okay, let's see. Gallows, Anderson versus Enzo and Cass. I see this as just being average. I'm going to go with a C.
I agree with you on the C. I see it being I wouldn't say a gimmick match. I do kind of have that fear that Enzo and Cass are going into WrestleMania as tag champions.
I hope not, but anyway. Oh, wait, before we get it, I know we've already gotten into Fastlane, but going back to Raw, Bayley, she says, you know what my next dream is? And she points to WrestleMania. She says, going into WrestleMania as the champ. Is it your dream to come out of WrestleMania the champ? Shouldn't that be your dream, you dumbass? Right?
Tell us how you really feel.
No, seriously. The thing about WrestleMania is it's the big, event, blah, blah, blah. You want to win. I understand you want to go in with it and come out with it, but she didn't say nothing about coming out with it. She just said she wants to go in with the belt. No,
she actually did say she wants to also leave women's champion.
I didn't catch that part.
Because you've got a hard-on for the poor girl, man.
I do not.
You will not let her shine at all.
Well, stop doing half-assed moves. There's no oomph behind them.
Part of me is hoping that WWE is doing this on purpose, making her look.
Did you see those? Did you see Sasha slapping Nia Jax on the chest? What the fuck was that?
Yeah. No, part of me is...
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. And all the sheep got to get behind it like it's something great.
You should have a Savvo sound off, like a Stubby sound off, because you are sounding off on Bayley pretty damn good.
It's not. She still hasn't impressed me. Okay, the only credit I will give. Well, not the only credit, but I did watch that NXT match of her against. What is it, Asuka or whatever?
Right, and I told you she was great in NXT.
I don't see great. I watched it. I don't see great. It was better than what she's doing, but I don't see great. Great is Charlotte on both NXT and the main and Raw.
But you can't hold anyone to those standards.
well, I wouldn't say great, but above average is Alexa Bliss. Above average is Becky Lynch. Sasha and Bailey, I'm sorry, but they're not below average.
Oh, you finally came around for Becky Lynch, it sounds like.
Yeah, Becky's good. I was wrong about Becky. No, it wasn't that I was wrong about Becky. I just hated her intro. It just annoyed the hell out of me.
Well, I'm hoping that WWE is doing this on purpose with Bailey, where she comes off as a fangirl and has something to prove, and then all of a sudden she's like this polished, excellent wrestler. I mean, how good would that be as a gimmick? To have someone come out almost like she doesn't belong, and then shows that she's on the same level as Charlotte? Like a progression.
I'd have to see it. I don't see it happening, but I'd have to see it.
I mean,
and that's another thing.
But in all fairness, there has to be something there, because she wouldn't be this far into the roster if there wasn't.
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. If I see it, I'll mention it. I've mentioned it twice already. Asuka and certain highlights of her against Charlotte, but I haven't seen anything to be impressed with. The freaking move that she does when she throws them in the corner is like stupid.
Did you go back and look at her match against Sasha Banks at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn?
I haven't seen it, but
supposedly that was a good one too.
You're saying go check it out?
No, I wouldn't recommend watching women's wrestling at all. Hey, so they're one half of our 28 fans. Shit. I don't know. Me and you have discussed this. If anybody wants to comment on it, please do so. That means you, Mom.
They refer to Charlotte, or they referred to Charlotte and Sasha and Bailey and Becky Lynch as the four horsewomen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, the four horsemen were a team of elite wrestlers at the time. They were a group, they were a faction, whatever you want to call it. They were together. They were not against each other. I went back and watched some NXT, and everything is them against each other. So that is bullshit. That is trying to capitalize on the four horsemen, because the four horsewomen were just against each other. They weren't a team. Sure, they were in teams of two, but that's teams of two, not four. So I think it's bullshit, and that really pissed me off.
All right, so full disclosure. Sometimes I just say shit because I don't feel like doing the research. And sometimes I just agree with you because I don't want to fight. So, truth be told, I know nothing about the four horsewomen. Again, women's wrestling, not interested.
We're losing our audience.
We just lost Mom, shit.
What's that?
We just lost Mom.
I think she said you're grounded.
No, but I do watch some women's wrestling, but it has to be captivating. And watching someone like Ember Moon, or who was also known as Athena on the indie circuit, totally worth it. And I posted videos of her on the Savvo and Stubby Show website.
Huh.
You didn't watch it?
I guess not. I don't remember seeing it.
She's the black chick.
When did you post it?
Sorry, African-American woman. This was probably like a week and a half or so.
I don't remember seeing it, but okay. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember. But what's going on with Carmella? Is she injured or something?
No, she just did a spot with Ellsworth.
Cena and Bella and Ellsworth, you're right. But, I mean, she hasn't been in the ring for, like, at least a couple months now, right?
There's no need to. She sucks.
Don't the sheep want to see the moon walk?
Yeah.
It's just like another fucking Bailey. Woo!
are you doing voices?
You know how I was doing the Funkasaur? That's what I'm doing. That's
Oh, I can imagine. That's why we need to do a video podcast. And I apologize if I sound nasally. I'm getting over a cold. That's why the show's being shot on Wednesday instead of this past Friday. And you can still hear it. I'm congested.
Is this how many episodes we got?
This would be episode 4, I believe. But technically, we have like 6 because I've done half episodes.
Is it going to be a 3.5 or a 4?
No, I typically do half episodes after pay-per-views because I don't feel like driving all the way to your house to do the show. But if this pans out well using this phone interview, then we can do full episodes as a result show. But I see where you're getting at. Half episodes are still episodes.
It's just a touch on a certain subject.
Yeah.
Not a full episode.
Yeah, not episode 3.2 or 3.75 or... It's 3.5. No, this is episode 4, I believe.
Okay, moving on, we have Hall of Fame. We have Beth Phoenix going in. Announced Beth Phoenix going in. So we got Kurt Angle, DDP, Teddy Long, Beth Phoenix, Rock and Roll Express. I'm thinking, I heard before that there was talk about Rick Rude going in there. So he's probably next.
I am also thinking Steven Regal or William Regal, depending on how you want to reference him.
Where are you getting that from? Just your thought?
I've heard it rumored. He's long overdue anyway, too.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he's not wrestling anymore, he's still
in the business.
Yeah, he's still an intricate part to the development over at NXT.
Yeah.
I like this year's class.
This is like probably one of the most deserving classes, to be honest.
But you wait till 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now when they put the celebrity in.
Yeah, celebrity part is a joke anyway.
So there's also talk that the Shaq and Big Show match may not happen.
Yeah, correct.
Which would not hurt anything. Honestly.
Other than Big Show's bank account, but...
Unless it's a work, but, I mean, they can still do Braun Strowman versus Big Show, but make it a higher caliber match.
Yeah.
Or put both of them inside the Battle Royal.
Battle Royal? What the... Oh, the 20-man... Okay, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And honestly, it'd be really cool to have it down to Big Show and Braun Strowman as the last 2 people in the match. Because you know Big Show's been gunning for this title for a while.
He already won it before, right?
I don't think so.
No, he did, because he went and stood by it in the Andre pose.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I think so. Corbin won it, and then he won it, yeah.
Because I know he's been wanting it, and it's only fitting.
I think he did. I think so.
We should probably do our homework before we do a podcast, huh?
That's why I said I think.
I try not to.
Or you just agree with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting back to Fastlane, yeah, we have, I know we kind of got off subject there, Reigns against Strowman. Who do you see winning that one?
That's a tricky one, because at this point, both guys can afford a loss, because Vince is going to continue to shove Roman Reigns down our throats. Doesn't matter if he's over or not. But Braun is now established. I mean, he's legitimate.
Yeah, I'm going Braun. I'm going Braun with that one.
I would have to go Braun too, but if they're going to have Roman Reigns versus Taker, to be able to sell it, he's got to beat Braun Strowman.
There's been so much talk about who to go against Taker that I'm kind of forgetting. Is that like the latest? Reigns against Taker?
No, it's not confirmed, but you know who else I would like to see? Even though I don't know how well of a quality match it would be. Finn Balor versus Taker. The Demon King versus the Taker of Souls.
The Dead Man.
And you can't say the Demon King without it sounding like the Demon Kane.
The Big Red Machine.
Yeah. But I mean, they've both got that dark persona.
Right. Right.
I think it'd be a good visual for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're going to have Taker potentially this be his last Mania, why not have someone like Kurt Angle go against him? Although there's no real there's no build up for anybody right now.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna do something, it's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks or so, I would assume.
Right.
Because they're running out of time, and I don't know how quickly you can build.
It's coming up. It's like a month away, huh?
What if you just have Taker versus a ring post?
Stupid. They haven't had
Put a mirror.
Cena versus Taker. Not that I'm saying I want it. I'm just saying. You figure that would have happened by now, or this time.
Well, Cena hinted it.
Right. But there was some talk about it previously.
And that would be fitting because if it was to be Taker's last Mania, then at least get John Cena, the person that's been in the business for the last, 12 years or so?
Right.
Give him one shot at the Dead Man at Mania.
I would have loved to see Sting against Taker, only if they could both. I'm sure they could, but both deliver.
You know, if you want to get technical, the Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice hasn't been announced as a WrestleMania match. That can just be a feud, period.
Yeah, that's true.
We can still technically get a Cena versus Taker.
Right.
Because there's only been, 2, maybe 3 confirmed, 100% confirmed Mania matches.
Which would be?
Lesnar versus Goldberg. Bray Wyatt versus whoever his opponent is.
Hey, yeah. What's going on there now? I mean, they had AJ win it.
Like I said, the angle that I would have liked to seen with that, which I didn't see the end of SmackDown, which I highly doubt because you would have told me, is that Shane screws over AJ by saying that a fan in the audience caught a camera angle of him touching the floor first, so he revokes his chance to fight Bray Wyatt, which AJ then lashes out at Shane, and we get a Shane versus AJ at Mania, which nobody wants.
Okay, you have to watch SmackDown and your answer will change, but...
Okay. But if that's the case...
So
you know what?
you haven't seen the Harper AJ match?
I did, and AJ won.
From this week?
Right. AJ won by Harper's leg being on the ropes. The match was restarted, and then Harper kicked Shane in the face on accident.
Right.
Which gave AJ the shot at the title. But what I thought would be a really cool angle...
He pinned him, yeah.
Right. But what I thought would be a really cool angle is even after he won that outright, Shane comes back with video footage showing that AJ's feet did touch. And the reason why they didn't honor that footage before is they didn't have the evidence. But now that they have the evidence...
Oh, so you're saying just cancel that because, hey, well, you originally lost here, so you're up.
Right. And give Harper the shot, and then it causes AJ to be pissed off at Shane, which then sets in motion a feud at Mania.
Gotcha.
Which, honestly, no one really wants to see Shane versus AJ. that's a stunt match. But there's at least a build to it.
Right. Huh. We got, not that I give a crap, but Neville against Gallagher. I'm going Neville because the other guy fucking annoys me.
That's why I think that Gallagher's going to win.
Oh, God.
And then we'll have a rubber match.
What about Bailey against Charlotte?
You want my honest pick, or you want a WWE pick?
Both.
Okay. My pick, Charlotte wins it. The WWE pick, Bailey keeps it. And it draws out a little bit longer for Charlotte's streak. She hasn't lost a match where the title's been at
a pay-per-view, yeah.
But she has lost a match when she hasn't had the title, right? Or she just undefeated at pay-per-views?
At pay-per-views, yeah.
She's undefeated?
Correct.
What would be the relevance? What would be the relevance of continuing the streak after Mania for Charlotte?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. It's just like saying, "Hey, I've won every third Sunday of the month." Who fucking cares?
Yeah, but I lose every other Monday.
Right. How about Goldberg against Owens? I think you said Owens.
Goldberg versus Owens. I think this is going to be a Jericho interfering, allowing Owens to continue to have the belt. And then we see a build-up Owens versus Jericho at Mania. Because,
so he can face him at Mania.
Yes, and I think Owens is going to retire Jericho, at least temporarily, while he goes on tour. What better way than for them to have an all-out, just ass-kicking match? And have him really look like you put Jericho on the shelf. I mean, any true fan knows Jericho's going on tour.
Right.
I think he even hinted that he was planning on doing at least one more year before going on tour. That was last year. So this has been in the works for a while. I see no reason to have Jericho win the belt, and I see no reason to take the belt away from Owens now when the Goldberg and Brock Lesnar match doesn't have to have a strap for it to be legitimate.
Unless they want Brock to have it.
Right, but this will also allow there to be, I mean, Brock can easily win it the next night on Raw, which probably will happen. I got one for you.
What's that?
I got one for you.
What?
When do we see the return of Finn Balor? He's cleared.
On Raw?
On television, period.
Oh, he was on NXT, I heard.
Right, but not in a fashion that holds any storyline.
Shit. I'm sure it'd be pretty soon, because he's going to be a part of Mania. It's right around the corner. So, I'd say within the next couple weeks.
You know what? I don't think I'm going to go back in this episode and add any sound effects in. I think we actually had a legitimate, clean episode.
Yeah.
With no filler.
Right. I just had a thought regarding TNA.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that Jeff Jarrett has a wrestling company, there's a Global Force Wrestling.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they're like trying to cut costs, because anytime you get new management in, that's the number one thing: cut costs, save money, blah blah blah. Maybe that's why all these people are going. They're going to incorporate his other company in with them.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah, I mean, again, and on paper, he's going to look like a genius because he's cutting all these, cutting the payroll.
All right, I got one more for you before we end the show because I got to wrap this up. Fill me in on the Hardy angle. What was the last angle that they had before making it public that they did not re-sign with TNA? I heard something about them traveling in time or traveling somehow.
Yeah, Vanguard 1, their drone thingy, has somehow got like teleportation abilities. So he zapped them to Mexico, and they beat the who was it? Psychosis and Super Crazy, I think it was.
Yeah.
They took the belts there supposedly. It came back, and then last week was it? Maybe the week before. They went to somewhere down south. I don't know if that was the Young Bucks or not. I really can't remember. But they beat them and took their belts. What they're doing was they were collecting everybody's belts and throwing them in this. I want to say it was a boat. I might be getting confused with this other boat thing that they got going on, but I think they had this boat, like a rowboat, and they were throwing them in there and collecting them. But
because I have
much where it ended.
I have an angle because they're saying how are they going to continue TNA without having the Hardys be on television? What if the Hardys were on Vanguard 1 and get sucked into the WWE universe? And when you bring them back as the old Hardys until they somehow get Vanguard 1 fixed again. And then that's how you get them to be Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero.
But all they have to do would go to the lake and be baptized.
Right, but if they can't get there because they're stuck in the WWE universe.
Oh.
So they're the old Matt and Jeff Hardy when they come back from the 90s or whatever, the 2000s.
Are you talking them being that in TNA?
No, coming to WWE.
Gotcha.
Let them run that gimmick just for a little bit and have them like trying to figure out how to get Vanguard 1 corrected. And you can still have Matt Hardy doing the whole broken Matt Hardy thing, but in the clothing that they had from the Hardys.
Vanguard 1 has a malfunction, yeah.
I was going to criticize you about doing impersonations, but that was actually pretty funny.
The 7 deities. You gotta watch that shit, dude. It's fucking classic.
You're an asshole.
I'm telling you. What?
You're an ass.
What did I do?
I'm laughing at something I don't even know about.
See, it's freaking funny. I mean, if you want to really, dude, just give it a chance. Look it up on YouTube or something.
All right, well, I know this is all sudden and everything, but the kids and the missus are going to be home soon, so we got to cut this episode real quick. But before we sign off, why don't you tell people where they can find the Savvo and Stubby show?
They don't know by now?
I would hope so if they're listening to it right now.
All right, well, you can listen to us through the Speaker app, or you can go to the Apple Store and download it from there, or you can go to Google Play and download it from there. That's the Savvo and Stubby show.
Or you can go on to Facebook.com.
Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah.
What the hell was that?
It's my Titus.
It's aura, aura, aura.
Whatever. It's my Titus / Rick Steiner.
I thought you were coughing.
Come on, man. We're on live.
All right. So then you also go to Facebook.com/Savvo and Stubby. That's SAVVONSTUBBY. Or you can go to my Facebook page, or even Big Papa Savvo's Facebook page, and get all the information on how to check out the Savvo and Stubby show. We are going to try to do an episode on Friday if we have any more content left. Pretty sure we do. I mean, we could easily talk about a throwback match or a pay-per-view from past years, or we can even talk about dream matches for Mania.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna just a quick gun to your head. Who's the best champion that there's been?
best champion?
Yeah.
That's tricky. I actually heard someone talking about this on a podcast, and I'll kind of bounce the question back to you. Who do you think's a better world champion, Bruno Sammartino or Ric Flair? Take into consideration territories, take into consideration the amount of time they held the titles, and take into consideration the competition that they fought.
My opinion, I thought I'm going to go with Flair. I'm not knocking Bruno at all, but I'm going to go Flair.
Okay.
And you?
I'm biased. You're not going to like my answer. CM Punk.
Bruno?
No, I like CM Punk. Just because, and that's not because of just, I mean, he, at the time, he was one of the more legitimate indie wrestlers.
Wait, go back and say that again, the CM Punk part?
That at the time, he was one of the more legitimate.
No. Say CM Punk.
CM Punk.
What are you talking about?
There we go. No, I mean, if you think about it, he started a movement with the mic skills. Oh, it sounds like the kids are here. So we'll have to continue this on the next episode. And as
okay, my two all-time would be Flair and for WWE Shawn Michaels.
All right, we'll talk about it on the next episode.
All
right. As always, it's me, STUBB. Why? Because I'm the man, the myth, the legend, the mighty minion himself, Stubby.
And Savvo.
We out.